Aligning elements with Flexbox is very easy. In this video, you will learn how to align elements along the main axis. And that is using the Justify Content property. This property accepts many values, so you have flex start, flex end, center, space between, and space around. So let's go to the flex container here and set the Justify Content to flex start. So you can see that it is the default value. If you don't set this property explicitly, the default value will be flex start. But now if you say flex end, now the flex items will be aligned at the end of the main axis. Remember, if you set the flex direction to row, the main axis runs left to right, so the main start is here and the main end is here. And when you set a value of flex end to the Justify Content property, flex items will move to the main end here. So let's move to the next value, which is center. This value is self-explanatory. The flex items will be centered. The Justify Content property can also be helpful if you want to distribute extra free space. So if you set a value of space between, you can notice that the browser is doing a great job at distributing free space around the flex items. The amount of space here is the same, and that's a great thing. There is also another value that you can use, which is space around. Well, basically with this property, the browser will calculate the main size of each element, and then if there is free space, it will distribute it around flex items. But the only difference between space between and space around is that with space around you have extra space here. The browser will take a half of the free space and puts it next to the first flex item and puts the second half next to the last flex item. So here, if the free space was something like 50 pixels, the browser will take 25 pixels and puts it next to the first flex item, and 25 pixels next to the last flex item. So now you can start using the Justify Content property to align flex items along the main axis. Please keep in mind, this property is relative to the main axis, not the horizontal axis. So if you change the main axis using the flex direction property, it will behave differently. That's because it is relative to the main axis. So if your main axis is set to be row, the Justify Content property will align flex items horizontally. But if your main axis is set to be column, the Justify Content property will align flex items vertically.